That's probably where we're at. That's always, that's what we said,
And the guy pager from the prosecutor. So I went down there and I put on my bet we go to Louis and White. Get the No.
So this is 12:15. Tag that Okay, so 26:07.
George County District Court now back in session.
The whole time you're
State of Ohio versus Anthony Liu. State of Ohio versus Chang H. Lin. State of Ohio versus Long Ping Liang.
Please stand up here. And is there a gentleman also? Oh, okay. Well, we'll go ahead with these two ladies. One of you is Liang Longfeng. Which one is Liang? Liang?
Yeah.
And Miss Lynn? You're Miss Lynn?
Yeah.
All right. And then this must be Anthony Liu. Sir, are you Anthony Liu? You're Anthony Liu? Anthony Liu. Is that your name, sir?
Yes.
All right, we'll start with you. Case numbers 23668A and B. Let me ask first, how well do you speak English? Not that well? Do you want to have a translator? Okay. Well, I can get someone to speak Mandarin, but it's going to take a while.
Yes.
I mean, it's not like I have someone in the local community that I can reach out to. I'll have to contact the Ohio Supreme Court and have them assign someone, and we're talking about several days, I would say, before I could get someone here as a translator. Do you want to proceed with the hearing today, or do you want to wait till you have a translator? Maybe I didn't understand right. Do you understand the question I'm asking you? Okay. What about the others? Did you understand what I was trying to ask him? Do you need a translator to understand the proceedings?
We need a translator today or another day.
Yeah. Well, you sound like you could speak English fairly well.
It's a little bit.
Okay. Because I can get a translator, but I have to request it from the Ohio Supreme Court, which is in Columbus.
Oh.
That's 2.5 hours away. And if I call them today, they're not gonna have somebody here in the next 15 minutes. It's gonna be maybe next week sometime before I can get a translator.
So you don't have the phone for the translator?
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say they don't have someone sitting at the Ohio Supreme Court that can get on the phone and translate Mandarin. I'm sure they can find someone, but it's gonna take a while. In the meantime, you're probably gonna be sitting in jail while we wait for a translator. This hearing is just to make sure you understand the charges, set bond, appoint a lawyer for you if you're entitled to appointed lawyer. I'm sorry? So do you want a translator for the first hearing?
So you have phone translation? No.
No. I'm sorry?
So we don't understand English, so
Okay. Well, what I'm going to do then, I'm not going to conduct the arraignment then until we have a translator. Let's try to decide, do you have money to hire a lawyer? Do you have jobs? Do you work?
What? You asked me to have the job?
Yes, do you have a job?
No, I'm pregnant.
You what?
I've got a baby, so I can.
Okay. You are pregnant now or you have a baby?
I got a baby, 8 months.
Oh, in you, okay. Okay, what I'm going to do, Mr. Smith, I'll appoint you, or Ms. Liang, Mr. Morford for Ms. Lynn, and I'll have to get counsel for Mr. Liu.
The only concern I would have is if this would go Monday, I'm starting a murder trial. I'm available Friday, there's 4 days blocked off. But for some way this would go Monday, I'll be in front of Judge Ballard.
Okay.
But I'm here next Friday, so I don't know how that impacts the appointment at this point.
Well, I'd rather have somebody that can be here Monday.
Yeah, I cannot.
Let's do this. I'm going to have to take a break, try to call some law. First, I'll call the Ohio Supreme Court, explain to them what the situation is, get their guidance on how to proceed to get a translator, and then I'll try to find lawyers that can be here Monday. And then I'll come back, put that on the record, and also decide about bond. And have we done any checks to see if there's warrants outstanding on these folks in other jurisdictions? Because I had not to your knowledge. Okay. Okay. We'll come back after I've made some phone calls.
Thank you, Judge.
They're not, you understand, they're not file charges.
Okay.
We'll do it, at least one charge.
State of Ohio versus Andrew J. Farley, case number CRB 23667.
The other ones, the man's got copies. Let me go get the other copies. That's from the sheriff's office. Let me go get the Chesapeake.
Andrew J. Farley, case number CRB 23672A and B, CRB 23673.
All right, are you Andrew Farley? Sir? I'm not a man. All right, Mr. Farley, your case numbers are 23672, 23673, 23667. And 23672 is an aggravated possession of drugs charge. Before I tell you about that, let me tell you your rights. You have a right to remain silent. You don't have to say anything. If you do say things, it's all on the record. It's all being recorded. It can be used against you if you admit something about your case. You have a right to have an attorney, to talk to a lawyer before you say anything. You have a right to bond, and you have a right to make the state prove any charge against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand those things? The aggravated possession of drugs charge alleges that at Union Township, November the 6th of this year, you were knowingly in possession of methamphetamine. That's a felony 5, maximum penalty 1 year in jail, $2,500 fine. 672B alleges the same time and place you knowingly were in possession of a drug involving a fentanyl-related compound. That's a felony 5, maximum penalty 1 year in jail, $2,500 fine. 23673 case number alleges November 6th in Union Township. You knowingly caused Cheryl Simmons to believe you would cause physical harm to her person or to her property. That's menacing charge. Maximum penalty, 30 days in jail, $250 fine. That's a misdemeanor, it's not a felony. Then 23667 is an assault charge. It's a different date, November 3rd, November 3rd in Union Township. You knowingly caused or tried to cause physical harm to Cheryl Simmons. That's a first degree misdemeanor, maximum penalty 6 months in jail, $1,000 fine. So you've got several charges. Do you understand those charges?
Yeah.
And you understood the rights I explained to you? Do you have the money to hire a lawyer? Do you have a job? Don't have any income or anything?
I'm starting out on it. I need to
Okay. Did Mr. Smith leave then, or?
I think he may have. He had to be some, I don't know if it was an Ironton or, but he had an appointment, I know.
Yeah, I'm not going to appoint him on this one. He's got enough on that.
I believe he did, Your Honor. He has
Okay.
a trial at Ironton Municipal Court this afternoon.
All right, I'll appoint Mr. Holt to represent you on all the cases. And apparently he just came into jail today, I think. Is that right? How long you been in jail?
3 days.
Okay. You came in on the 6th then.
Yeah.
So we'll have to do the preliminary hearing next Monday, the 13th.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
I was just adding up the
Oh.
time. Since he's been in custody, we have to do the preliminary next Monday, the 13th.
All right.
And I'll notify Mr. Holt. Well, get my phone. Easiest way to notify lawyers is to take a photo of the pleadings and text it to them. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm not texting somebody else unrelated to this. It's involving your case.
There's a rule 4 for Nevis County on this guy too, it's out here yet.
He's not going to be able to go until we get this stuff first resolved anyway, so. What's the state's position on bond for Mr. Farley?
Your Honor, the state would recommend a $2,500 bond based on the charges.
Okay, I'll set bond at $2,500, cash or surety. Set your next hearing for Monday, the 13th.
And also, if I may, Your Honor, the state would ask request a protection order. The alleged victim's name is Cheryl Simmons.
Okay, I'm ordering, if you do make bond, well, you're ordered not to go around Cheryl.
I'm straight, I'm going to prison, right here.
All right, I've notified Mr. Holt that he will be your attorney, and the next hearing will be set for Monday at 10 o'clock.
What was his bond, Your Honor?
$2,500, cash or surety.
Your Honor, I can get a name for an interpreter on the line from the Supreme Court of Ohio.
Okay.
It's all kind of done through automated AI type system. You have to be able to get the thing recorded. It takes about 5 minutes to get someone lined up.
Okay.
Did you want to recall the case?
Yeah.
I'm having it.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Try to start getting an interpreter on the line and let you know
Yeah.
when I have it.
We can do it on your cell phone, or so we can bring in partners?
You can, I do it on my cell phone.
Yeah.
Right here. I'll let them put it on speaker.
Okay. Yeah.
State of Ohio versus Robert Toller, case number CRA 23671.
I don't think you have.
I don't think I did. Yeah, they didn't know they were bringing this person. That's what they're into.
Sir, you, I'm looking on here for the name. Robert M. Paul. This is case number 23671, and before we proceed, you have a right to remain silent. You don't have to say anything, but what you do say is being recorded, it's going on the record. So any statements that admit something that's damaging to your case can be used against you later. You understand that? You have a right to have an attorney, to have one appointed if you can't afford one. You have a right to make the state prove any allegation against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand those things?
Yes, sir.
It's alleged that there's a warrant for your arrest issued from the Kentucky Parole Board, a violation of conditions of your parole. And they're asking that you be returned to Kentucky to face issues with regard to revocation of your probation and parole. You have a right to have an extradition hearing. That's a hearing to determine if you are the person being sought by Kentucky, if there's good cause to send you to that jurisdiction. You can have an attorney. If you can't afford one, you can have one appointed to represent you just on the issue of extradition.
I would waive that right, sir.
You want to waive extradition and agree to go to Kentucky?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I have a waiver for you to sign. Look that over. It just says that you are agreeing to go to Kentucky and waive having a hearing on that whole issue. Okay, so they ask that you be held without bond. So I will comply with that. And they ask for up to 15 days to make arrangements to transport you. So
You know what county will be transported?
looks like, well, I don't know. A lot of times when it's parole board, they have somebody from the board, but this is actually, I think this originated in Lewis County.
Yes, the House of Regs.
So I don't know how, that's up to Kentucky how they'll do, and sometimes some states hire these services to transport people, so. So 15 days would actually be the 24th of November, which is the day after Thanksgiving, so I'm going to make it the 27th. I'll set your next hearing here, November 27th. And as a pretrial at 10 o'clock, if you're still in the jail, I'm going to see you then. Hopefully you'll be long gone back to the Commonwealth of Kentucky by then, and you won't be here. So Kentucky needs to be notified he's available for pickup. And his waiver of extradition is accepted. Any questions, sir? No, sir. Okay, that's all.
Your Honor, I have an interpreter on the phone with the Supreme Court of Ohio, if you're available to do
I am.
cases.
Okay.
Ma'am, can you hear me? I have you on speakerphone.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, just one moment, please. We're running the defendants in the courtroom.
Okay.
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Longfeng Liang. State of Ohio versus Anthony Liu. State of Ohio versus Zhao Lin.
Sir.
All right, we have an interpreter on the phone, so I was able to get somebody on the phone. Ma'am, would you state your name?
My name is Quinn.
Quinn, and you speak Mandarin?
Yes.
Very good. Now, one of these defendants I appointed a lawyer for, and that was Miss Lynn, is that correct? Mr. Morford?
Yes.
Do you wish to have the translator translate the complaint to her, or do you?
I think it would be a good idea, Judge.
All right.
I'm going over it with her. How much of it she understands, I can't tell you.
Okay. All right. Well, it looks like a lot of these charges are identical, so maybe we can do, hopefully we can do this, go through one time for, we have 3 defendants, Quinn, that I believe, everyone speaks Mandarin? Okay.
Okay.
Would you tell them they're each charged with forgery?
OK。你好，我是您的中文普通话翻译啊。你们3位同时都被指控了造假。
It's alleged that on November the 8th, 2023, you would translate that?
你们那个是被在2023年11月8号这个被控诉。
Here in Lawrence County,
在我们这个Lawrence县。
they purposely defrauded or facilitated a fraud by possessing or using a identification card belonging to a Xiao Hong Lin. Well, for each one of them, they used an ID card, a fake ID card.
你们呢或者是进行了欺 身份证件呢是属于交公问你们每一位都是使用了造假的身份证件。
And that they each knew that the ID cards were forged.
你们每一位都知道这个身份证件是造假的。
Forgery can be punished in Ohio by 1 year in jail.
造假在俄亥俄州这个惩罚呢，是1年监禁。
And a $2,500 fine.
和2500元的罚款。
Do they understand that charge?
那么这项指控你们听明白了吗？
Everyone's shaking their head. Yes.
所以你们每个人都是摇头还是点头？
点头。
Okay, nodding their head, yes.
Okay, thank you. Next charge is receiving stolen property. If you would tell them the next charge is receiving stolen property.
I'm sorry, what property? I'm sorry.
Receiving stolen property.
Oh, thank you, Your Honor. Okay, 下一个指控是你们接受了偷窃的财产。
It's alleged that here in Lawrence County, November the 8th, they did receive property being driver's license that belonged to someone else.
在这里显示呢，在2023年11月8号在这个劳人之间你们有收到资产然后这个资产所显示的一个驾照上面显示它是属于别人的。
And that they knew or should have known had been obtained by a theft offense.
你们知道或者是应该知道，这个资产呢是被偷窃的。
This is a felony 5 that carries a possible penalty of 1 year in jail.
这个是一项重罪有可能呢是1年的监禁。
And a $2,500 fine.
和2500元的罚款。
Do you understand this charge?
这项指控你们明白吗？
我们明白，但是我们对这个完全不知情。
We understand, but we did not know anything.
Okay. The last charge is that they're all charged with is identity fraud.
最后一项指控，你们全部被指控身份造假。
Well, maybe not all of them.
No, they're not all, Your Honor.
Okay. One person is charged with identity fraud, and that's Xiao Hong Lin.
对不起，并不是你们全部其中的一位被指控身份造假是肖红丽。
For Miss Lin, it's alleged that in Lawrence County on November the 8th, without the consent of the other person, they used their personal identification with the intent to hold themselves out as that person.
所以林先生，你呢是在2023年11月8号在劳人之县，在这个对方没有不知情的情况下，你使用对方的身份证件来伪装 对方。
That carries a possible penalty of 1 year in jail and a $2,500 fine.
这个也是1年的监禁和2500元的罚款。
Does she understand that charge?
你听明白了这项指控吗？
She says yes.
OK，
Then
你说的是
Ms. Liang and Mr. Liu have another charge, identical charge, that Ms. Lin does not have, and that's complicity to commit theft. If you could tell them they are charged with complicity to commit theft.
OK， 连先生和刘先生呢，你们同时被指控，就是说你们呢，同意去进行偷窃。
It's alleged on November the 8th of this year, they knowingly aided someone in committing a theft offense. That's what complicity to commit theft is.
这里做的记录显示呢，在2023年的11月8号，你们有协助别人去行窃，这个就是说同意行窃的意思，就是这个意思。
That carries a possible penalty of 1 year in jail and a $2,500 fine.
这个也是有可能的惩罚是1年的监禁和2500元的罚款。
Do they understand that charge?
这项指控你们听明白了吗？
明白。
Yes, we understand.
Okay, and before we proceed further, I want to explain their rights. I probably should have done that first, but if you would tell them they each have a right to remain silent.
那么在我们进行下去之前呢，我首先要告诉你们的权利啊，你们每一个人呢都有保持缄默的权利。
They have a right to have an attorney.
你们有请律师的权利。
They have a right to have an attorney appointed if they cannot afford to hire one.
如果你们不能够没有能力请律师的情况下呢，你们有权利可以要求为你们指派一位律师。
They have a right to make the state of Ohio prove any charge beyond a reasonable doubt.
你们有权利要求俄亥俄州提供超越合理怀疑的证据。
Do they have questions about their rights?
关于你们的权利，你们有问题要问吗？
一个我没有把它具体到一个，会我的命令参与的哪一个会好？ 我们听明白了，但是我们需要这边州给我们提供律师，而且我们也需要说他们提供我们的犯罪证据。
I'm sorry, this is interpreter, Your Honor. I couldn't hear.
Okay. We're going to move the phone closer to so maybe you can hear better. We'll move it over closer to them.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
哎，
您刚才说你听懂了，然后之后就听不清楚了。
然后
I tried to do this before, but let's put it back on the record again. Would you ask them each if they have jobs?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, this is the interpreter. Each of them have what? Could you please repeat for accuracy?
Are they employed? Do they have a job?
Thank you so much, Your Honor. 那么在我们进行之前呢，需要问一下，你们3位每一位都有工作吗？
他指的工作是什么呢？我们有正大行业的工作，但是现在暂时没做。
Okay, what do you mean by a job? We had a job, but we are not working anymore.
Well, I've already appointed a lawyer for Miss Lynn. Mr. Morford, you're representing Miss Lynn, correct? And I'm going to appoint lawyers for Ms. Liang and Mr. Liu. So I'll appoint Mr. Steyer for Mr. Liu and Mr. Holt for Ms. Liang.
Okay. 我们已经为李女士已经指派了律师，所以现在呢，我们为陆先生和练先生指派律师。我指派Steyer 先生做陆先生的律师，然后House 先生呢做练先生的律师。
Those lawyers are not here today, but the court will notify them that they've been appointed to represent them.
这些律师呢，目前不在法庭，但是呢，法庭会通知律师先生，就是说他们已经被指派给你们了。
I will set their next hearing for the 17th of November. That's 8 days from today. It's within, they just came into custody yesterday, I believe. So I'll set you can tell them I'm setting their next hearing for Friday, November 17th.
OK，那么现在呢，我来帮你们制定下一次法庭听证啊，是礼拜五，11月17号。
I'm now going to ask the prosecutor for their recommendation on bond. So you might want to, if you would translate what, I'm going to move the phone over to the prosecutor. You can translate what she says.
Thank you, Your Honor.
OK，
Based upon the residencies, I'm sorry, go ahead.
OK， 我现在呢要跟我们的指控方来商量关于这个关于这个假释的这个条件。
Thank you. Based upon the residencies of each of the defendants and the allegations here, which do contain identity theft and the evidence of multiple identifications, the state will request a bond of $100,000 each for each defendant.
Can you translate that? The state's asking for a $100,000 bond for each defendant.
OK， 那么根据你们的居住地以及对你们的指控然后你们每一位呢都被指控这个身份偷窃，而且是多项身份在这种情况下的话，我们的规定是保释金，你们每一个人的保释金是10万
Do you have questions?
有问题要问吗？
很多对于他们的所谓的指控，很多我们都不明白，而且请他们提供证据，而且为什么他们不在这边？我们的指控很多都不明白。
So many of the charges we were unable to understand, and also, so we are requesting proof of these charges, and also why the bonds are so expensive.
Do you want to answer it? They want to know why the bonds are so...
The bond, I thought they said charges. The bond is set very high due to their out-of-state residencies and the allegations that have been set forth.
这个保释金被定的这么高，是因为你们全部都是外州居住，然后呢，你们的这些指控诉，被这个，就是说你们被陈列的这些指控是这个原因。
我想问一下，这跟我保释金这么高，这跟我们外州的居住这个有什么关系呢？因为我们如果要上庭，我们也会在这边附近啊，而且我们的身份信息不是所有都在这吗？为什么会就因为这种事情，而且就因为不确定的指控，让我们的保释金这么高？
So I would like to know why our out-of-state residency would be the reason to set the bond so high. And so if we are going to appear on the court here, we would be staying nearby, and all our information are here. So why the bond is still set so high?
Bond is set in accordance with the likelihood of appearance at the next hearing, and that could be a factor that you do not live locally.
保释金被设的这么高，是根据你下一次出庭的可能性，以及这个你们不在这里居住的事实。
我们可以居住在这边的酒店，但是我不理解是这个保释金让我真的很不理解，而且我们进去连东西都没有购买，连东西都没有购买，为什么会所谓的控告我们这么多东西？我很不理解。
So we can stay in a hotel here. That's not a problem, but we never made any purchases. So, and with all these charges, we totally don't understand.
Sending copies of their charges to their attorneys. Tell them, I'm using my phone, you can't see that, but I'm taking pictures of their charges and sending it to their attorneys.
我把你们的指控发给你指定的律师我是把对你们的指控拍的照片来发给律师。
OK。
All right, based on the charges and the circumstances, I'm going to set their bond at $25,000 cash or surety. Can you tell them that, please?
OK，那么根据这些指控然后 所以你们的保释金设为25000现金。
个人25000。
他是一个人25000现金吗？还是指我们3个人25000现金？
So 25,000 cash per person or for all 3 of us?
Per person.
一个人每个人。
每个人我交帮他说。
OK， 那我想问一下，那我们如果没有交是保释金的话，那我们直接在里面待到15号是吗？
Okay, my question is, so if we don't pay the bond, we'll have to stay inside until the 15th?
It'll be the 17th.
17号。
今天是9号。
今天是哪？
Anything else they wish to say to the court?
你还有没有其他的想要跟法庭讲的话？
我觉得我们如果担保我们的需求是因为我们都还没有进行购买东西行动，所以我觉得如果是说我们需要叫担保人的话，就是1万回来。但是如果是说超出了这个范围，我们没办法交，我们只能在里面待到17号。
没钱了，我们没钱了。
What we need is, because we did not make any purchases, so we would accept a bond of $10,000 each person. Otherwise, we would choose to stay inside until the 17th. We do not have money.
Okay, that's their choice. If they wish to speak to a bail bondsman, we can make arrangements for that to happen, and that person could take money to guarantee their bond if they wish to do that.
That's fine.
So if you would tell them they have the right to, if they don't have $25,000 in cash each, they could use a bail bondsman who could post it for them, but he's going to charge them a fee. Gary would like to go to New York. So he did say something, Mr. Wu. Did you hear what he said, Ms. Quinn?
No.
Okay, ask him.
What?
You said something, sir.
你刚才说什么？我没听见。
我说那这个我们需要付一个费用，付给担保公司的费用是多少呢？
So how much fee are we supposed to pay the bail bondsman?
Usually it's 10%, but that's up to the bail bondsman.
一般情况下是10%，但是呢，这个是由担保那边来决定的。
你帮配的，你比如说你往往帮配的。
反驳吗？他说干怎么样？没有干，后面
我想问一下，就是我们的担保金能再降低一点，因为我们确实现在没有这个钱，但如果是说我们可以可以找那个介绍担保的那个中介，但是我们希望说担保金能再降低，因为我们确实也没有购买得起成功，但是我们一定会损失上，所以我们跟我们住在哪里是没有关系。
If it's possible to reduce the bond, because we were unable to make any successful purchases, and also this should have nothing to do our residency. We don't have money, so we would consider to borrow the money from a real bondsman, and but we would like to credit for the reduction of the bond.
I understand the request, but it's denied. The bond will stay as it is.
我明白您的请求，但是呢，你的请求呢被拒绝了。这个保释金呢，就是我们之前说的。
那行，那我们同意那个寻找担保公司，我们同意先商量一下，跟担保公司商量一下那个价格。
Okay, we agree to discuss with the real bondsman about the fee.
We will have the bail bondsman contact them at the jail.
我们会让这个保释金中介去看守所联系你们。
那我想问一下，那这个是多长时间呢？而且我还想问一下，这个担保的公司是一定要他们找吗？我们自己可以找吗？
Okay, so I would like to know how long is it going to take for the bail bondsman to contact us, and also, do we have to use the bail bondsman appointed by the court, or can we find one by ourselves?
They can find anyone, there's only a few that are approved by the court, but any approved bail bondsman they can use. And the one that does the most work here will contact them usually within a few hours.
Okay. 你们可以自己去找虽然就是说所有的这些保释中介呢都必须要经过法庭批准，但是你们可以去自己找的。如果是用我们这里最常用的这些服务机构的话呢，他们一般在几个小时之内就会联系你们。
OK， 那我们就使用他们的这个吧。
Okay, then we will use the one appointed by the court.
We will have them contact them. The next hearing will be November 17th.
我会让他们来接触你们。那么下一个出庭日期是11月17号。
能告诉我们准确时间吗？10月17号的几点？是早上还是中午还是晚上？准确时间。
Do you have the exact time on the November 17th? Like what time in the morning, noon, or afternoon?
10 a.m.
早上10点。
OK， we got it.
Got it.
As to Miss Liang. Mr. Holt is not available to represent her, so I'm appointing Tyler Smith. If you would tell her that.
OK，叶先生还是女士哈？那么之前提到的这个浩迪律师呢，他没有空，所以我要帮你指派Toer先生做你的律师。
That's all.
就这些。
Thank you, Ms. Quinn. Do you need any information from the court?
You are very welcome. I'm all good. So, is that all for the interpreter?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the last thing you said.
Is that all for the interpreter, Your Honor?
It is. We're gonna need a translator for the next hearing, though, November 17th. Are you available, or is there another person that how would we make arrangements for that?
You can just call our phone number, and yeah, I'm sure we will have someone available for you.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Thank you for using our services. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Has anyone contacted Mr. Sowers? I figured they'll be able to communicate.
Judge O'Hanlon speaks Mandarin.
Really? Maybe we could get him as a...
Yeah, if we could have got him quick enough.
Well, that doesn't happen in the 5th grade, does it? Did you teach 5th grade? No. Missy taught, didn't you teach?
Did you teach 5th grade? Did anyone?
Second.
Did they teach Mandarin?